I'm a photographer who drove Route 66, and I hope you'll take time to see all of my Route 66 videos. This presentation will cover Missouri, which I explored starting May 1st, 2022, and I'll be highlighting some of the interesting places where you might want to stop and do photography. My focus will be photography. There are other videos on YouTube that do a great job showing you where to stay at a motel or what they ate for lunch at a Route 66 diner. So enough talk, let's get started. So, going west away from St. Louis is the Route 66 State Park. There's an old bridge there. Those of you interested in the history might want to stop and take a look. Keep an eye out too for the old Gardenway Motel sign. There are a couple more old motels around in there too that you might want to photograph. As you keep going west, you will see some wigwam structures. I stopped and asked the old lady there if I could photograph them, but I think she gets that a lot and screamed and hollered for me to get out of there, despite me having asked nicely. You'll find lots of friendly people along Route 66, but that place was not one of them. When you get to Bourbon, Missouri, take some time to drive around and explore the town. There are a few places where time has stood still. Try to see what you can find with your camera. In Cuba, Missouri, you may find some interesting architecture, and there are many murals painted on walls and businesses. Take some time to explore Cuba with your camera. If you've been researching Route 66, you may have seen photos of Bob's Gasoline Alley outside of Cuba and marked it as a place to visit. Unfortunately, Bob passed away and the collection of oil and gas memorabilia has been sold off, so there's nothing left to see. Make sure to stop in St. James, Missouri, so you can photograph the old Derby gas station. You'll find lots of old Route 66 relics in and around Rolla, so make sure to slow down and keep your eye out for them. There are some old motels and trading posts too you'll want to photograph and explore. At Devil's Elbow, you'll find a historical bridge, and if you keep an eye out, you might find a few old vehicles laying around. The Fudge Factory at Uranus, it's your typical American roadside tourist trap, but you know what? It's still a fun place to visit. There's a lot to photograph, and if you have kids, they'll enjoy what there is all to see and do too. The stretch of highway around Hazel Green has several old places waiting to be photographed and explored. There is another historical bridge in the area, and there's at least one old gas station. Some of them may be hard to find during the summer because they may be hidden by overgrowth of trees and bushes. Lebanon, Missouri, yeah, take some time to let your camera roam around that town for a while. Route 66 around Marshfield, that's another stretch of highway where you will want to keep a lookout in a couple places for old cars to photograph. The town itself might also prove to be interesting for you too. Springfield has a variety of things to photograph. Across the street from the old theater is a barber shop, and they let me photograph the unique decor inside, including the bar downstairs. There is also the more traditional Route 66 sites in Springfield that you can visit, and they are well covered in other generic Route 66 travel videos on YouTube. There is an old Sinclair gas station in Ash Grove, and it's a must-see stop on Route 66 for photography. When I was there, it was pouring rain all day, which greatly limited my ability to take pictures, and I had to do a lot of editing when I got home to clean up the images. and around Carthage, Missouri, you will find many of the traditional Route 66 sites that you will want to photograph. It was raining hard all day when I was there, and I had to resort to doing sky replacements in my photographs when editing. The picture of the old car was taken at Red Oak. That's a great place for photography, but because of the rain, the property was flooded, which limited access and my ability to take pictures. As you all know, the weather can sometimes be an issue. In Cartersville, you'll find the Super Tam ice cream shop. It is full of Superman memorabilia, and the shop owner will gladly let you take photographs inside. The ice cream there is pretty good too. It's a fun stop and part of the Route 66 experience. The last town before heading into Kansas is Joplin, and I didn't find much to photograph there. Missouri still was a great state to do Route 66 photography overall, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Route 66 continues on, and even though Kansas only has about 12 miles of the mother road, there is a lot to photograph, so I hope you'll continue to follow along in my Kansas video.